All right, what is up, everybody? JG603 back here, owner and operator of TSW Wrestling, of course, coming off an insane, and I truly do mean insane show. Some of the greatest moments we've seen in TSW history. What we're here for today, of course, we're going to break down the power rings. We're also going to go over the show a little bit, talk about what we can expect out of some of these guys. Just a quick little recap of the show itself. Of course, first off, we're going to start off with the Royal Rumble. Things are a little bit brighter for JG's oculars here. That is because our guy Dargan has, fittingly enough, has put together a fantastic document situation here, right? So we know some of the eliminations, some of the longest people in the Rumble, so that's a fun little thing to touch on here. First and foremost, of course, we're going to touch on Boxy, champion going into this matchup, 24 minutes in that ring. Unbelievable stuff there. Five eliminations, by the way, on the way to getting tossed out by none other than Chico. Also a great performance, just under 10 minutes. 4 eliminations, of course, including one Boxy. Couple other good showings there. Craigie, of course, getting down to the final. A pair of eliminations by Z-Rock and now James P. and Frost. Z-Rock has had a tough history, but we're keeping an eye on that Z-Rock. I tell you what, you look the other way and he's gonna pop off. And also got to touch on a couple other double digit. We got Tiger Jet 10 minutes in the ring, just under 10 minutes. The other guy, nice to see him back here. And then maybe the biggest surprise, Joe Hendry. Nearly 8 minutes and eliminates Mr. Benjamin. Benjamin, you poor bastard. That's got her. And of course, only 41 seconds in the ring. The second longest time outside, of course, Frosty, 58 seconds. That's not good for us, buddy. Dargan, Dargantics, the three faces of Dargan. Great spot. Dargan, of course, came in 3 times, had 3 opportunities to win. So this Thursday, on Thursday Throwdown, live from New Orleans still, baby. Dargan will defend against 3 individuals. It's only fair. Going to be against Boxy, of course, rematch clause. Craigie, the man he eliminated to win that title, and the guy who eliminated Boxy in Chico. That's going to be a good time there. But let's touch on a little bit of the rest of the pay-per-view. Of course, we've got new women's tag team champions. The Roll Dats, 2-time tag team champions. Toxic Attraction coming back for those tag team titles real soon. I can assure you that. Not sure if it's going to be this week or next. By the way, guys, going to touch on it real quick. We do have a quick turnaround for the next pay-per-view. 28th the holiday. So we got the 7th, the 14th, bang, 21st will be another pay-per-view. So quick turnaround. But we're in a good spot here where a lot of our storylines are kind of set up for a quick turnaround, so that works out well. Talk about the quickest turnaround. Last Ham Standing. I don't know if that's the greatest match we've ever seen or the worst match we've ever seen. Comes down to a tie at the buzzer. I think 4 to 5 seconds left to pop up powerbomb. I've said it all week since that match. I think that would have ended it. I think that pop-up powerbomb was GG's. So Landmark getting out by the skin of his teeth. I think we've run that back. No time limit this week. Thursday Throwdown. Talk about match for this Thursday Throwdown. Kind of pair these two together and you'll see why here. We got the sap and clap connection. I was going clap and sap, but it just rolls better. I don't know why. Weirdest thing. Of course, Sap turning on the congregation. Fenn and Chef, they had some issues during that match. If you watched it live, you'll see some issues. YouTube, you'll notice there was an issue, but it's not there. Essentially, JG likes to do his pre-rolls. We completely bollocksed up the way we pre-rolled our match because this one was the one match on the card, fittingly enough, with little in-match cutscenes kind of thing, but dissension with Fenn and Chef, but they look good despite that. So we're gonna be transparent. We thought that maybe they were having issues building towards something between each other, but looked pretty good. Looked pretty damn good. But of course, a clap with a pair of drivers, the WDD, the Whiskey Dick Driver, and possibly your next tag team champions. They will challenge this week one-on-one against and still reigning defending tag team champions, the Birds. Of course, step into Hell in a Cell, walk out the victor. Legion of Boom, I'll be honest, hurts me a little bit because they've been doing really good stuff. So we're not going to disband them. We're not going to split them across the cards. They're going to be sticking around the tag team division scene. They're going to continue to do good things. Sorry, I have a little fuzz hanging from my face there. There we go, beautiful. I don't like to edit little things like that out. Come on. Okay, so halfway point, they're talking tag team wrestling. We're going to talk about Team America here. New leadership, NC Ballin', but might not have mattered as DT takes another pin for this group. DT can't catch a break or needs to get good, one of the two. But yeah, Emma continues this winning streak. Of course, able to grab Rowdy and Shrades, the former TNA tag team champions, nearly TSW, by the way. A tag team that certainly will stick together, moving up the rankings as one force. But I like C-Ballin's presence here. I think, from what I gather, I think DT's in a tough spot right now. I think C-Ballin might want to make some moves here, but I can't imagine Cap has any interest in that move. So we're going to see how that plays out in the upcoming weeks. And something you know, sometimes we level with you here, guys. The guy I was rooting for in this one didn't pull it off. I think storyline-wise, AJ winning the Elimination Chamber was putting a bow on this thing, but that's the joys of live entertainment, folks. As your new champion is instead BTS, big time TS2, sweet. That BTC is killer, man. Hit it out of nowhere on AJ after countering that the Eclipse or the top rope Jedi mind trick there by AJ. CJ, of course, will have his rematch clause. Real quick to touch on Yimmy, Finn, not the best showings there in Chamber. The other guys, though, definitely holding their own for a great shot of that matchup. Again, we'll see CJ versus Big Time. Fighting Champion has made it clear in streams. He wants the smoke. He is a fighting champion. He is defending that title against CJ this week. He even said, you know what, dude, give me two people. Give me two, give me three. So I like this man's energy. You got to think he'll be back with Sir this week as well, which would be a big boost down at ringside. And another one of these matches that little error. I could have again, we could have edited it out of the YouTube, but it was an entrance in the day. You know, we had changed our entrance later in the week where we originally decided just one, then both, but then one, but then both would get the special entrance. Not a big deal. Great entrance, though, nonetheless. Shout out to Steph. But Miss Hudat stealing the show with the Saints are coming. But Steph's a monster. I love to see Steph do well. She's a fantastic talent. But I was pulling for Miss Hudat in New Orleans. I was. Or at least, not go down 2-0. That one hurt. That one hurt. And talk about matches that I'm cool with either of these guys winning, but at least this match delivered compared to last Iron Man. We're talking Iron Ham, Ched versus Animal here, and new King Ched. But man, 2 minutes left. Animal could have tied that up, and with about a minute left, he had Ched fucking planted. Goes under the ring for like 20 seconds, doesn't even grab any items, jumps to the outside for no dessert. Just really baffling way to end that matchup for a champion. Of course, we'll have his rematch clause. Due to the nature of the quick turnaround, we can confirm that will be pay-per-view. However, while it is the heavyweight championship, defending it every week does feel like overkill. I do feel like some of the other belts feel a little bit more important right now because they're getting defended more in banger after banger. And frankly, the last couple world title matches outside this one left a bad taste in the mouth. You know, the Elimination Chamber where Animal won the title, we can all probably agree was a bad match. Not even a bad finish, a bad start to finish, a bad match. Animal versus Clap was good for the first 10 minutes, second 10 minutes, fucking absolutely goddamn useless. So, pay-per-view in a couple weeks. Short turnaround after that for another pay-per-view, but I think in the new year, it's very likely we see that world championship defended a little bit more frequently here. So strap in, strap on, King Ched. I think you're going to like what we got going for you here. And before we touch on the main event War Games, we have to, real quick, you know, we like to do squash things to break up the card a little bit, break up the monotony of an intense pay-per-view. And we found ourselves in Casio's dream sequence where a couple too many hand grenades. You know, they were in New Orleans. He's an New Orleans native, famously getting a temporary suspension from Twitch because he was streaming Mardi Gras is how we'll you know describe that one. But I thought that was a fun way to break up the show. You know, that kind of stuff ain't for everybody, but I think for the people it works for, it definitely works. But here we go, guys. Main event War Games. We have a lot to dive into in this matchup. First and foremost, of course, I loved the entrances. I love the new look on Raw. I think this is really intense. I've always liked his look, but something about the leather pants just really drives home that this man's an asshole. I don't know. If you wear leather pants, I'm afraid of you for many reasons. Numerous. But big reveals here, of course. Demon Dog has been revealed to either be in control or be controlled by Afterburn. Deep cut, but the most important one we talked about on the broadcast. We'll talk about it more going forward, of course, but this man created Beacott Wrestling, created essentially this idea on the platform, more or less. I mean, some other people were doing it as well, but for me, you know, dragging me in, well, not dragging, you know, but I got in the booth in there, you know, calling some matches alongside the other reveal of Swain. And if you follow JG, you follow what he does on Twitch, this made all the sense in the world. You know, I think Raw was the obvious pick. I think Joker, we had to throw a swerve in there to keep you off on your toesies here. Plus, he's a great wrestling mind. So, you know, I've been bouncing some thoughts off, and we got a bit of a booking community behind the scenes here from time to time. And I'm really pleased with the way this faction. I will say, I did want TSW to win the main event, but I like almost more where this is going now. I will say, what is it? You know, fuck up's the mother of invention or something, right? I don't think that's the saying, but you know, we got some really fun stuff coming here up in the near future, but that's gonna wrap up the show. We will say also real quick, Prod is definitely out indefinitely, but Lucky falling there did hit there were some boxes, some items underneath we couldn't see as the cut worked out, so luckily, we're not expecting like a broken neck DJ style injury, but I certainly don't expect to see Prod for a little bit here, but let's get on to these power rankings, baby. So, a little bit of a different setup because we have a lot of people moving in and out of these bad boys. So, reveal. Coming in here way at the back half. Last time we showed a couple 4 or 5, but we get to show a little bit more just because there are a lot of people leaving the rankings this week. Record number 4 unranked people debuting, the biggest shakeup to the top 10 we've ever had. We have a champion who almost left the top 10 from being a top ranked individual despite holding the title still. So it's a weird, funky week here in TSW, but let's get chipping away here. Been off the list for a couple weeks, but we got Fend, we got Khan, we got Meme. DT was holding on to dear life. He got the bump. Brother, you can't be surprised with that one. We got Joe Hendry, first time kind of ranked here. Good showing in the Rumble, man. He was there for kind of a humor spot, but you looked good out there. You look good out there. We got Chef, of course, was ranked 40, yeeted out the rankings alongside DT, also yeeted out the rankings here. We've got Z Rocker, and finally yeeted out the rankings. It's PA Tony. It had to be. Who else but Tony? So, moving right along here, coming in at 40. I didn't mark it on my rankings here. We'll get that ranked after, but unranked, he's back. Win, lose, or draw. There was no way I was not putting myself in these goddamn rankings. Straight up, end of story. Let's keep moving here. Of course, was injured, missed some time. Huge return on Thursday Throwdown last week. Didn't think that was enough to bump him up, but good showing in Wargame. There the whole match. Some really good spots. Took a fucking beating, but you also got to remember former heavyweight champion and does still have my rematch clause. So, moving right along, dropping 2 spots, 39 on the outskirts is Kapnerk. He'd be out there with Tony and DT, but Kapnerk is a former champion, and I just have a lot of love and respect for that man right there. Coming from unranked, talked about it, despite losing some matches, had a really fun spot, good showings in past Rumbles, a lot of people dropping, so we're throwing Casio in here. Welcome to the rankings, my brother. Coming in hot here at 38. We got some good stuff in the next few weeks here for Casio. Some opportunities abound. Dropping back 5 spots, 32 to 37. We have one Stonekiss here, taking some losses, never holding gold. Weird spot right now, but you know, I love me some Stony. Big fan of him in real life. So needless to say, we're gonna get him some opportunities in game. Another big drop here, dropping 8 spots for, wrong way. Frosty, of course, debuts, wins the number one contendership, takes LB to the limit, then loses again, gets dropped out the Rumble in less than a minute. Shortest time in the Rumble, of course, besides Dargan, but he won the damn thing. Frosty needs a hard reset mentally and physically here, I think, moving forward from 28 to 36. I think maybe the biggest drop off in these rankings right here, and it's fair why. We got B. Sanders, took the pin, and Do Not. You know, fantastic tag team champions. Fantastic. Longest reigning, not even close. I think they held the titles more than any other, like the combined of everybody else. That long these guys have been on top. Lost their rematch clause though. You know, they're not going right back in number contendership. They're gonna have a little reset here. Maybe they dabble lightly in singles, but I really like them as a team, and I think there's no reason not to keep them together moving forward. Another big drop is we're gonna have a bunch of these guys here. We've got Yimmy, 16 to 33, 17 spots. Yimmy, you know, another star, another guy I love in real life. We're gonna give him all the opportunities we possibly can. A tough showing in Elimination Chamber, certainly. But I think it's just a matter of time till he builds some momentum again. Opportunities abound. He always puts on a good show. The phenomenal one, Retro Yimmy there at 33. 32, we're gonna pair with 31. You'll see why. Previously at 25 was Prodigy. Previously at 24 was Deekster here at 32 and 31 respectively. Of course, actually I could argue Prod should probably be a little bit lower on this list, but him getting attacked backstage isn't his fault, so can't punish him for that. Of course, losing War Games, good showing up until then. Deek's gonna get the edge out because he is a former champion. But other than that, not much touch on here. These guys, they're gonna get the opportunities. They're gonna get some love at the top of the card. Really interested to see what goes next with these guys, because I don't necessarily think that these guys are done. Oh, certainly not Broad. Are done with the creators of Pain here. All right, cracking into the top 30 now, closing on the TS25 here, boys. We've got Shrades. Pair him up with Rowdy. Of course, former TNA Tag Team Champions, never holding gold in TSW. They've had their shots though, but win on pay-per-view, winning a tag match, you know, nonetheless. I think number one contendership certainly in their future, maybe even a shot at gold in the future of one Shrades and Rowdy. Shrades 34 to 30, Rowdy from 33 to 29, moving up a little bit in the rankings here. Another big drop. The next few are going to kind of fall together as well, as you'll see. We've got Up and Adam going from 15 to 28. We've got AJ from 14 to 27 and Finn from 12 to 26. But all these guys have different stories. Very different stories. Of course, Adam, huge debut, shock debut, staring down with CJ, kind of an issue with AJ, the former champion. Of course, Adam, despite pulling some shenanigans, gets dropped out of the chamber. Decent show in there nonetheless, though. Adam will get opportunities. He will be a star here in TSW. Ball pit to the moon. Team Hollywood Express. Oh, he's gonna be an option as well. AJ, weird spot right now. I'll be honest, we got some stuff for him. There's not stuff this second, which is kind of a funky spot to be in, right? Because we have some stuff we love to do with him, but the stuff that we wanted to do with them, they're tied up right now. So AJ, you got the ducky on, you're floating right now. You're floating right now. We won't let you sink though. I promise you that. We got Phineas and Herb, of course. You know, the pairing with Landmark, I think has benefited. I like the new attitude on Finn. Dropped out of chamber early, but he was at ringside for 30 plus minutes helping out Landmark. I do think that might have been a factor. I would really though like to see in the future maybe Landmark giving Finn some love. I feel like so far Finn's given a lot of love to Landmark. I'd like to see that reciprocated a little bit. And here we go, guys, into the TS25, the too sweet 25. Let's get rolling here at 25 from 35. We're gonna have the one, the only, the Chico, of course, touch on him a little bit, talking about the Hardcore Championship in the opening segment. Will be number one contender, in a title match this week, of course, eliminating Boxy in that match. Gonna pair him as well with Craigie. Craigie is a former Hardcore champion, by the way, and of course, Chico, two-time tag champion. People forget. Looking to be the first one told. Oh no, because Swanee's done. He'd be the first though to be a two-time tag champ and a singles champ. So Chico 35, 25, and Craigie from 30 up to 24. Kind of a victory and defeat situation here. Staying pat, one of, I believe, two people who didn't move. The only two people who didn't move the rankings at all, which is kind of crazy. At 23 is going to be Emma. Great streak, big win, but there are a lot of people who arguably did a little bit more than Emma, you know, to be fair. Plus, right now, you pin DT. I dropped a coaster. I can't give a lot of credit to beating DT right now. I frankly cannot. So staying at 23 is Emma. And by the way, guys, as always, code JG603 for Rogue Energy needs, the hydration, the energy, the relaxation, all your needs. JG603, 20% off for Rogue Energy. Oh, that's good. I always say I like the we do the sour candy energy. mixed with great popsicle energy. A little bit of the snowstorm hydration, a little energy, a little hydration. I like my drink pretty sweet though, so, you know, scoop accordingly. Anyway, I wouldn't say not a paid sponsor, definitely a paid sponsor. Sap coming in from 26 to 22. Of course, him and Clap. You know, actually, I misrepresented. Clap is staying pat is also 3 people here. Sap and Clap connection. Sap's been on a big upswing lately. You know, you remember in the past, challenged the Universal title, Congregation turning on JG's back there. But, you know, he's turning a new leaf here. Him and Clap are on a head of steam. Big tag title match this week. Excited to see how these two can perform there as we hit the top 20. Staying pat. New design, though. Ooh, the dastardly Dr. Death. Ooh. We got Joker, PhD, baby. Of course, Joker, man. Great showing. Got the winning pin, which, you know, should bit of a liar, but you got to think Joker's passed a little bit. Got to come into play here. Sorry, I got to pick up this coaster. It's driving me nuts. It's an old wrestling coaster. You know, you got to think past, not a great history, but you know, there's a huge win for Joker. A huge win for the creators of pain as we're gonna rattle through them here, guys. Swain from Unranked up to 19. Certainly going to get some title opportunities in the future. Not much of a history here in TSW, which I think in this case does benefit him compared to Joker, who has lost a great deal of matches in the past. We have got the former 2-time tag champion from 27 to 18 in one row. Oh, he's going to kill everybody. Just plain and simple. It's gonna be a fun couple weeks. Well, not fun as a viewer, not fun as wrestlers here in TSW. And then finally, we got to show some love from the biggest, maybe the biggest unranked we've had outside of title contentions. Afterburn here jumps up to 17 from unranked. The creator himself. So much love for Burn, man. Long overdue. Much respect, sir, and I'm very excited to see what happens going forward. I'll be honest, I'm pulling for the bad guys right now. I definitely am. Talk about someone I'm pulling for big and didn't get pulled out this week, going from 11 back to 16 is Mrs. GG. Gonna pair that with the chaotic Tina, who goes from 10 to 15. Of course, former tag champs, they will have a tag team rematch. You can't talk too much shit in this spot, but someone I can talk shit about. From 5 to 14 is going to be the Sauce Boss there. Not even one of the last 2 people. Last 3, which is good showing. CJ will have his rematch clause this week against Big Time. What stipulation, we're not quite sure yet, but CJ's got a chance to be the first ever 2-time Universal Champion. Will it happen? We're not sure, but best of luck, sir. Best of luck. May the odds forever be in your favor. Talk about someone we're not sure if they can pull it off. Man, did they have a great showing. The best showing in defeat, bar none. We're talking Brandon 2K. Ooh, unlucky. Lucky 13, not sure. From 17 up to 13 here, of course, taking Landmark to the damn limit. I swear to God, if that was a 30-minute and 10-second match, I think we're looking at the champion. I think we're looking at a possible #1 ranked individual right here in Brandon 2K. I cannot wait for that rematch with Landmark this week. We got here at 12, jumping up from 21, Miss Huda. One half the women's tag team champions, gonna pair that with Bama. Bama did get the pin and also, I don't remember if she got the pin, but didn't lose. You know, Steph beat Miss Huda later tonight. So, women's tag champions again. You only have 7 technically on the roster, so they don't show with the belts, but women's tag champions here, 2-time tag champions, both 2-time tag champions and former women's champions. This group, low-key becoming some of the most decorated wrestlers in TSW, under the damn radar too, as we get ready to crack the top 10, the biggest shakeup we have ever had. From 3 to 10, former champion, the one, the only, the Animal, great showing. Until the last couple minutes, man. I don't know what happened. Brain fart, exhaustion getting the best of you. Maybe you had a couple hand grenades backstage, a little too much boozy, boys. But Animal, 2/3 weeks, rematch versus Ched. Not sure stipulation, it won't be Iron Ham. We'll get something very definitive. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that. Maybe we have the last Ham standing. Leave the BMI division just for a night. And maybe we do Animal, Ched. Oh, that might be the one. That could be it. Moving right along here, and this one hurts. This one almost feels unfair. You know what? I think we might have a live changing of the rankings here. I don't know. We'll talk this out. Number 9, former number 1, it's Boxy. You know, looked great in that Rumble, but lost the title. But you know what? I have a lot of love for Boxy here, guys. LB, you're getting shabloimed. LB is coming in at 9 here. LB is coming in at 9. So here's the situation. LB, great as Cruiserweight champion, didn't defend the title though at pay-per-view, which, you know, not necessarily his fault, but what is his fault? Stepping into War Games and taking a loss nonetheless here. Yeah, we're going to change rankings live here, guys. That is very rare. Now, could he probably go up higher possible? We'll talk about that a little bit more in a few. But LB here will be defending this Cruiserweight title this week, so easily could be jumping up towards the top 5 again. Just a tough week, you know, kind of a weird week where LB could easily be ranked higher, but again, you're in the top 10, so you get that +1 at least. Now let's hit on Boxy here. Number 8. From 1, 24 minutes in the Rumble. Only 3 people left to enter the Rumble, and he gets thrown out by reversal, by the way, which was kind of unfortunate. But Boxy, the creme de la creme of the champions in TSW. Rematch clause this week. We talked about Dargon, Chico, and Craigie. Boxy wins, awesome. Boxy loses, still awesome. Either way, even if he holds that title, I think he's gonna bump up. Even if we see our first champ here in Boxy's been incredible. Unbelievable run this man has been on. Hats off to you, sir. Hats off to you. Talk about great runs. We got DJ Scorpio, 3-time tag champ in TSW history, only man to do it with 2 partners as well. Pair him with Swanee, of course. Swanee gets a little bump. He did get the pin. And former multiple-time singles champion. Swanee, man, he is building a damn resume right now. We've been talking about Mount Rushmore. You know, it's early. But I think there's an argument to be made. Swanee, tag team champion right now, and a really good run with that belt. 2-time cruiserweight. I can't remember if he held the hardcore. I don't think so though. No, because he was a later debut. But love what I've seen from DJ and Swanee. Good luck this week though, because you're gonna need against the Sap and Clap connection. And here we go, guys. The top 5 rankings from 13. Oh, by the way, DJ from 8 to 7, Swanee from 9 to 6. Apologies. From 13 to 5. Big Time TS2, sweet. Thought about putting him a little bit higher, but you had to consider a few things. You had to consider, because, you know, Big Time, I think, has better history than 2 of the people ranked here of recency. But you got to consider the match type, who he beat for the title. Frankly, I don't think CJ had a fine reign, you know, defends against AJ after beating AJ. Doesn't really do much other than that. I like the shenanigans with Adam, certainly, but I don't think CJ was really, you know, purely as a champion. I don't know if he was, you know, top tier, frankly. No fault of his own, of course. You know, he's a dastardly heel. It's what they do. But Big Time, he's here to be a fighting champion. He's here to take over these rankings, and I cannot wait to see this reign of Big Time. A reign that we have loved to watch, but I hate to see somehow. We're talking Steph here, guys. From 6 to 4, back into the top 5. Dominant. Just dominant. She needs a damn challenge. Plain and simple. Cannot be stopped is Steph. By the way, would like to see her find a way to get those tag titles, but we're avoiding champ. It's a small division. Gonna keep on rocking and rolling that bad boy now. You probably noticed some people haven't been seen yet. This is a huge jump from 31 to 3. It's that sweet Dargon ass, baby. Here's the thing. You beat Boxy. Greatest champion, I think, in history. I think even Landmark might agree that Boxy's been unbelievable. He's been fucking next level. Dargantics, though. He did have 3 shots, but end of the day, a win's a win. Champion's a champion. Could this be the shortest staying in the top 5, let alone top 10, let alone top 25 in history? Yeah, probably. Dargon loses despite being a former champion. I don't even think he's top 15. With the people in the top 15 right now? So it's gonna be an interesting week for Dargon. Win, lose is a big one. Is a big one, sir. And big ones, it doesn't get bigger than this. The top two. Hey, it's kind of clear who this is gonna be. Number 2. All hail King Cheddar. Don't have the right render. That's on you, boy. Ched, of course, heavyweight champion, former BMI champion, inaugural BMI champion, the first one to hold the BMI and the heavyweight championship. I was gonna say the first to hold the heavyweight championship with another title, but of course, Animal was a universal champion prior to holding that belt. But King Ched, Thick Ched, as he may be known, a couple weeks gonna be defending against one Animal. Cannot wait to see that matchup. Cannot wait to see what's next for King Ched and the Royal Circus, I guess, you know. But finally, you can't deny greatness. You can't deny greatness. Right now, I think pound for pound, regardless, the best champion currently with a belt. No offense to any of these other folks. The things he's done with that thing has been incredible. Lost it very briefly, by the way, to Big Time, which I don't think I'm not keeping my eyes on that one. But yeah, Landmark, dude, you are incredible talent in the ring, incredible talent promoting the brand as well, which, you know, does help out a little bit. But end of the day, I think it's undeniable. Landmark, number 1 in TSW. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, notify bell, ding, activate all that good stuff, and I'll catch y'all next time for some hot power rankings, some hot TSW. Woo! Appreciate you. Bye. Bye. Don't forget your rogue energy.